2023 is arguably the most difficult year to win in e-commerce and actually make a profit as an e-commerce brand. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about what you should be asking yourself right now if you own a D2C e-commerce brand and how to approach this year in order to go out stronger and even more profitable than ever before. So let's hop straight into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video here on my channel. On this channel, I talk about everything that goes into e-commerce growth and how to grow your e-commerce brand more sustainably and profitably. So if this is something that you might be interested to know more about, then make sure to check out my YouTube channel right below. And if you find interesting what I talk about, then I would also appreciate subscribe, and then I can talk to you on a more ongoing basis. However, without any further ado, today's video, I wanted to talk about the 5 things that you should be asking yourself as an e-commerce brand owner or as a D2C brand in 2023. Over the course of the last couple of years, we've probably come from the, easiest time, or that e-commerce gold rush, meaning 2020, COVID happened, like CACs literally were cut in half because of, super low CPMs and people just buying online, and everything was kind of like, that nirvana to 2023, right? We are in a macroeconomic situation, macroeconomically bad situation. We are in a global recession. We're just coming out of super crazy supply chain bottlenecks, as well as, data privacy issues like, iOS 14.5, as well as, a cookieless future, are not necessarily helping us to better understand our customers and, do or create better marketing and be more efficient with our marketing dollars. So with that being said, essentially e-commerce and e-commerce brands and their profits are under attack by 3 different fronts, which is, at the first part, obviously our CACs, right? Facebook ad CACs and generally our costs to acquire a new customer have been rising over the last couple of months or over the last year. This has been caused, first of all, obviously, because of changes in the digital marketing landscape, but also secondly, because people are more conscious and worrisome about their spending, meaning we have to spend more in order to convince someone that they actually need the product that we are selling, right? That is the first kind of rising cost that is actually attacking the bottom line of our e-commerce brand. The second cost is actually, our COGS, right? Due to inflation, our suppliers are asking for more prices. Our COGS and our gross margins are really being, are under attack as well, which are obviously also influencing then our bottom line. And last but not least, our OPEX, right? Everything from employee payroll to just general services. Due to inflation, people want and need more money, and therefore our OPEX or operating costs in order to really make our business run like it is supposed to run have just increased, and therefore our e-commerce profits or our profits that come more that we were calculating with or that we were forecasting within our previous models are just really under attack right now. And therefore I wanted to quickly talk about 5 things that you should be asking yourself right now in order to make sure that you kind of future-proof your business a little bit more and you are kind of a little bit more prepared for what is yet to come. So the first question that you should be asking yourself as a D2C brand right now that also goes in line with the whole stigma of 2023 is not the year of growth at all costs anymore, but the year of customer retention. And the first question that therefore you should be asking is, are we overspending on our new customer acquisition, and are we over-invested in our growth relative compared to our customer retention? So what do I mean by that? First of all, obviously being over-invested in your new customer acquisition, starts with something as small as really figuring out your CAC, right? And how much you're paying, then maybe going a layer deeper to, really understanding, okay, like is our, CAC right now maybe overinflated because we're actually, reaching a lot of already existing customers with our media dollars that we could have also either way could have converted, or would have converted with our brand, and therefore our actual CAC is overinflated, meaning, taking the cohort of a new customer CAC and, the overall CAC and really seeing the discrepancy and the difference right there, as well as then, maybe going even, kind of one layer deeper and thinking about and questioning your growth targets in general, meaning, do we really, want to operate at that 2.5x MER in order to push more spend? Or maybe do we want to, kind of take a little bit our foot from the gas and maybe aim or try to go for that 3.5x MER in order to be able to, just prepare it for more fluctuations of costs going into the future, being able to be more prepared for any type of, risks that are associated with that uncertain environment. Second question that you should ask yourself is, are our gross margins competitive, right? Arguably the biggest lever that you can pull, not only, for your Facebook ads, but generally in your business, is to have, good gross margins and really competitive or really good, unit economics, right? And especially in times of higher inflations, we have seen a lot of brands rising their prices significantly over the last year. So if you haven't done so, then make sure that you hop onto that bandwagon before it is too late. Okay, make sure that you don't really stay away or shy away from price increases, especially in times like that, just because of the general mindset or because of your mind thinking, no, I can't increase prices because then you will I will lose my customers, or my conversion rate will drastically decrease, right? Generally, in my opinion, I have seen not really a lot of influence on the conversion rate after prices have across the board been raised by, for example, $5 to $10, which, depending on your average order value, can make a huge difference in your gross margins. However, they have not really had such a big effect on brands that I've seen implementing that on their conversion rate. Meaning you want to really make sure and question that status quo continuously, and not only think about, okay, can I maybe raise my prices again? Or should I raise my prices maybe even into, put another way, but also think about it a little bit more, granularly. Okay, what are, for example, my SKUs that are, or my product collections that are just generally a lot more attractive from a gross margin and unit economic standpoint, and how can I push those a lot more, and how can I maybe build my business a little bit more around those SKUs in order to push better gross margins across the board for my business, and be able to spend more to acquire a new customer, as well as just generally have more profits to bolster to those rising costs across the board and those different attackers coming for your profit. The third question that you should ask yourself is, okay, which marketing channel brings the most traffic for us, and how can we leverage this traffic to make it more efficient and bring us more returns? Okay, so this goes, kind of as granular as, okay, are Facebook ads bringing us, kind of our most traffic? Our TikTok, is organic bringing us our most traffic? Is SEO bringing us our most traffic, right? Really understanding, okay, what is bringing the most amount of traffic and therefore probably also revenue through the door, and then kind of thinking outside of the box of how can we make sure that we generate more revenue through this particular cohort of people that are coming through the door. Can we maybe create or improve our UX and UI design for this particular type of people, considering where they're coming from? Maybe a lot of your people are coming from organic TikTok right nowadays. This is a great channel to actually accelerate your growth. And then you might want to think about, how can we improve? What are the majority of people that are coming from organic TikTok usually looking like? What is their buyer persona, as well as what does their consumer journey usually look like? Can we improve our UX and UI and our design for that? Can we improve our messaging angle in order to get more people to convert and be more customized to their consumer journey? Because they are arguably the most important lever for our growth, because they're driving the most traffic and most revenue right now. So, think globally, but act locally in that sense, right? Think of okay, what is globally adding, or like in our complete business environment, adding the most amount of traffic and revenue right now. You can easily figure that out in Google Analytics, and then just think locally of like, act locally of like, okay, what can I implement right now over the course of the next couple of months in order to get more money out of that particular cohort of people and this particular audience. Talking about different traffic sources, the next thing that you should ask yourself as a D2C brand is, where's the underpriced attention and our growth opportunity in 2023? This can be like something, okay, adding TikTok into your traffic mix of like, okay, TikTok obviously is an opportunity right now on the paid side as well as on the organic side, which is something that, every brand should consider venturing into and consider actually thinking about and adding as a growth lever of their traffic mix. This can be, however, also as a little bit more kind of holistically thinking, or maybe a little bit more taking a step back, and that is, okay, hey, we have been really collecting a lot of leads and a lot of emails over the course of the last couple of years when we were growing and scaling our Facebook ads and our general revenue and new customer acquisition. However, we've not really completely tapped into that yet. I mean, you might probably, or hopefully you had your core, automation and flows and maybe your occasional campaign going live, but, maybe you have not really completely tapped into segmentation, personalization, your different email analytics, as well as really tapping and leveraging this actually, free revenue source, or, arguably free or relatively free revenue source, and really predictable revenue source. You have not really tapped into that yet, and that might also be, something that you might identify as a really underpriced and underleveraged growth opportunity for you and your business in 2023. Then the last and the fifth point is, how well are we doing at materializing revenue from our existing customers, and how can we increase this even more, right? So really understanding customer retention will be key in order to make, like a bottom line or a profitable bottom line in 2023 for any e-commerce brand out there. It is not the year of trying to acquire new customers at scale and really scaling it through the moon, or making sure that, we can grow at all costs, but as I said, rather the year of customer retention. And therefore, you really want to make sure that you understand how can we actually leverage more and how can we materialize more revenue from our existing customers. This means, really understanding a little bit better, kind of, okay, what can you do in order to, generally, for example, increase your email marketing. That is, for example, the first place. Then think about new product launches that you could drop. Like this usually attracts repeat purchasers that have already been purchasing with you, and that really kind of generates a new incentive to buy with you. Additionally to that, you could, for example, also think about particular metrics, right, for your new customer growth relative to your customer retention, meaning your 60-day or 90-day LTV, meaning how much is the increase in order value or in value of the customer in the first 60 to 90 days after they have first made a purchase with you. So you could, for example, then arguably go ahead and think, okay, I'm personally always trying to go for like 30% in the first 90 days of increase in value for our brand after they first made the purchase with us. So then if yours is, for example, just 10 or 15%, you could, for example, approach that metric and that KPI and think about, okay, for the next quarter, we go ahead and take this as a KPI and really approach all of our growth efforts around increasing that number by implementing new email marketing campaigns, by implementing better flows, by implementing better segmentations, by going ahead and improving our UX, UI design in order to incentivize more repeat purchasers, drop some new product. That is something that you should ask yourself as a brand now in 2023 in order to make sure to not only accelerate your growth, but run Facebook ads profitably, but also make sure that you generally grow sustainably and profitably, and will exist a lot longer as a brand out of 2023. So with that being said, those are the 5 questions. Let's recapitulate them real quick and note them down and make sure to think about them. Take an hour or 2 out of your day and think about them long and deep, right? And the first one is, are we overspending on our customer acquisition, and are we overinvested in our growth compared to our customer retention? Second one is are our gross margins competitive, right? How are our gross margins across the whole business looking like? Can we increase our prices? Should we increase our prices? Third one is, which marketing channel brings the most traffic? How can we leverage this traffic more to make it more efficient and bring in more returns, right? Then, where's the underpriced attention for us, particularly in our business and our growth opportunity in 2023? As well as, and last but not least, how well are we doing at materializing revenue from our existing customers, and how can we increase this even more? Okay, so those were the 5 questions that every brand should be asking themselves right now in order to go out of 2023 profitable and with a good looking bottom line. So in case you want to know more, or in case you have any questions, first and foremost, let me know in the comments, or send me a message at victor@thevictorymedia.com. And yeah, if you want to know more about how to grow your e-commerce brand profitably and sustainably going into the future in those uncertain times, then make sure to hit the subscribe button right below. Every Thursday, there comes a new video of me talking about this, those juicy helps, those juicy growth experiments that I am running here. On the other hand, if you thought that this was helpful and you think, actually, okay, you know what, this really gave me some food of thought, then also I would appreciate to hit the like button. It helps more and motivates me more than you could ever imagine. So either way, appreciate your time. Talk to you in the next one.